don't know if you've noticed, but my YouTube page have been filled with Hoya struggles lately. It is easy to just focus on the struggle. Today, I want to change that. Today, I want to show you some Hoyas in my collection that are thriving. And I've not noticed because I've been focused on the struggles. Showing you some favorite Hoyas, new leaves, new growth, even some blooms, some Hoyas that I'm actually obsessing over in the middle of my messy plant season. Sometimes the best reminder is that not everything is failing. Some plants are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. First plant, oh my gosh, this plant, I just noticed this plant 3 days ago when I was cleaning out my IKEA cabinet and repotting everything. This is the Hoya Wilber Graves China, and look at it. Could you believe it? I've not even noticed this because I've been focusing on the struggle. It is beautiful. That splashy pink hue is so gorgeous and so much splashes. Oh my goodness. How have I not noticed this plant? And I think I haven't noticed it because it's been in the IKEA cabinet, kind of just spread out, and I put it on a trellis. Of course, it's not gonna fit in there anymore. It is now gonna sit in my west window. And this plant is doing really well, living its best life, and I have new growth. I got some new leaves right over here. It's doing great. There's two plants in here, and I got this plant last year as a cutting, and it's just been sitting in the IKEA cabinet and establishing itself, and so beautiful. My goodness. And then we have some more splashy black here. Oh. I just gave this one a repot, as you saw in the last video, and it is doing well, and I'm looking forward to seeing more spring growth on it. So the next Hoya, this one is the Hoya Insularis. It has surprised me so much with growth in winter, and this Hoya is not struggling. Can't believe it. It's an unusual Hoya and not something that you see in a lot of people's collection, but it is in mine because I love a lot of unusual plants and kind of uncommon plants, I would say. Of course, I've seen Doug Chamberlain with this Hoya, but I've not seen anyone else with it. I actually really like it. It is unusual, it's just different, and I'm looking forward to seeing some blooms. It's a quick grower. It's my second one of this plant. The first one was just a cutting with 2 leaves, and it did nothing for 6 months. So I just decided to buy another cutting of this plant, and this is what's happened to it. It's just taken off. And I think sometimes not every cutting takes off. I'm glad that this one have, and it's just given me so much pleasure looking at all the unusual growth. Look at all the sun stressing. It is so beautiful at the top. I love unusual plants. Okay, so this one is my Hoya Caduta Sumatra, and it is blooming. The blooms are actually closing up, so they don't last long. I did just repot this Hoya as well when I was redoing the IKEA cabinet and giving it a refresh. Now, this Hoya lives in there. I don't have it in ambient humidity. I don't know how it would do in ambient humidity. If one of you guys grow this in ambient humidity, let me know. I don't know how it would do because the way the Hoya grows and looks, I feel like it needs very high humidity. So I like to hear your thoughts on that. Now, this one is struggling. This is a struggle Hoya for me. I repotted it. It had some root rot, and I cleaned it up and I gave it a new pot. I even trellised some of the vines, one of the vines actually, stick it in the pot to see if it's going to give me some new growth. I don't know, but there's three or 4 peduncles on here, and one has already starting to finish blooming, and the other one should start going. The one thing about this Hoya is that it blooms in the growing season constantly. One bloom will fall off after 3 to 5 days, and another one is already starting. So if you kind of get blooms all the time on it, and I'm looking forward to seeing this one revive and do better. But it is one of those crusty, dusty Hoyas. So one of the things I'm going to be doing more in this season is definitely fertilizing. I've not done a good job at fertilizing because sometimes I just need to water really quickly and I just do water. But now a lot of things are changing for me. We're going to be fertilizing a lot more, and I want to see how this one kind of grows. It is set up really well in the IKEA cabinet, so there's kind of no excuse for it not to thrive anymore if I'm doing things right. But I'm kind of giving the plant a lot of pressure. But yeah, it is a beautiful plant, and I hope to see it revive. Okay, so next Hoya, it is just a small plant. I got it as a cutting back in September of last year, and this is, I love it. This is the latest leaf. I mean, as soon as I saw this, I got to be obsessed. This is the first leaf that I got, and it's like the leaves keep getting larger, so I'm kind of scared. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I got this free from one of the shops that I buy Hoyas from. She always gives an extra cutting in the order, and this was one of the cuttings. I had no idea that this plant was going to be this beautiful. I think this is gorgeous. And I think this is a common Hoya, right? Quinquenervia. I've never really heard of it until I got it. So this is doing well. I repotted it, and it was just a cutting, and it just started growing. It's in my IKEA cabinet. This one I will grow in ambient humidity because eventually it's going to grow out of the cabinet. So we're going to transition it to grow out here, probably in the west window, and we'll see how this does. But it is so shiny. There's a little texture to the leaves. It's just so beautiful. I'm looking forward to watching this one grow in the growing season. Do you have this one? And how fast does it grow? I did read on Doug Chamberlain's on Vermont Hoya page that this is a prolific bloomer. So looking forward to that. The next Hoya is really not much to share, but it is one of the Hoyas that I have anticipated blooms. And look at what I have right there. It is a peduncle. I am really hoping that it is going to bloom and not fall off. I'm trying to keep my eye on it, and I'm looking at the pot, and it looks like the roots are not the ones that's going through any kind of root rot or struggle. I talked about it on one of my YouTube videos. The leaves that's coming were not dark, and somebody said to give it time. And sure enough, I gave it some time, and it's coming in a little darker now. I like how dark the leaves are. This is the first leaf that it came with, and these are the other leaves that I've gotten so far. I bought this plant particularly for the blooms. It is a bell-shaped white bloom, and oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to this so much. It kind of reminds me of silver bells during Christmas. So I will keep you posted. Hopefully, if I edit this video a lot later and I have the bloom, I will show it to you. But Hoya Campanulata, looking forward to seeing how this is going to do in my collection. It is in the IKEA cabinet, growing in there. It will eventually have to grow out of the cabinet, and we'll see how that transition will go. I'm hoping to get another vine from it so I can like take cuttings and make a fuller pot. Maybe I should try to air layer this because like there's no leaves here, but this is totally an area where I can just chop, but I'm not touching the plant right now because I want blooms. I'm here for blooms on this one. Hoya Campanulata. If you have it, let me know. You may be tired of me talking about this one, but this is the Hoya Panderata. I've talked about it quite a lot. It is in pond. It's like I forget which plants are semi-hydro or not sometimes because I'm not used to growing in semi-hydro, but this one is. I like forget sometimes. But this plant is my only Hoya in semi-hydro and doing fabulous. It is in pond. I do have some leck-up pieces at the top. I transitioned it to semi-hydro because it was growing in the IKEA cabinet. The leaves just didn't look right. I mean, these leaves are very hydrated and you can tell it's firm. The leaves, when it was growing in the IKEA cabinet in soil, it just wasn't doing great. I wanted to see if I can bring the best out of this plant, and I put it in pond. The Etsy store that I got it from, she grows her Hoyas in pond, and I took it out of pond because it came in pond and I put it in soil, and that was kind of my mistake. So we'll see how this is gonna do as it continues to grow. This one is not in the IKEA cabinet anymore. It is over here. And it will eventually have to leave here, and I can put it in the west window so it'll get a little bit more light to see how it's gonna do. It's bloomed for me last year, like 3 blooms. The blooms on this one last very long. There is currently every node, basically there's a peduncle, every node, yeah. There's a peduncle. I'm anticipating lots of blooms. I'm excited to kind of watch this one do its thing in pond. I will be kind of unpotting it and taking a look at it and giving it a refresh. And this one, I am going to be fertilizing a lot more than what I usually been doing. So we're just making a lot of changes in this plant room. And I think this, yeah, there's just so much peduncles. I don't even know how that is possible. Like, do you see every node got a peduncle? Every node, yeah. Anyway, Hoya Panderata, one of my favorites. This is another Hoya that is not struggling and surprising me so much. It is the Hoya Vilosa. This one is a short leaf Hoya. I have the Globulosa, and this one's labeled as the Vilosa. This is a shorter leaf one. Do you see that? This Hoya bloomed last year. When it fallen off, it kind of looked like this, like a stump. And I'm like, well, that doesn't look like a peduncle anymore. What do I do with it? Should I cut it off? I will never cut off a Hoya peduncle ever, even if it looks like a stump. This week, when I was kind of intentionally looking at my plants and noticing them, I saw this and I think I screamed. These blooms last over 30 days. Amazing. And it kind of, I think this bloom smells a little like vanilla, maybe lilac. I don't remember. And this one is actually on a bonsai wire as well, because I was bending it because I was trying to see if there was going to be another vine coming from here, because usually when you kind of bend a Hoya on a trellis, you kind of get another vine. So I was trying to see if that would happen, and nothing's happened yet, but I did put it on a bonsai wire, so it's doing well. I do need to do a bonsai wire update, and I will be doing that in the next couple weeks, but so excited. I'm trying not to overwater this plant and not to underwater it, because that is what's been happening with me with my Hoyas. Either I underwater or I overwater, so I need to be in the middle. And I would love to take cuttings from this and make a new plant and try it in semi-hydro, but not anytime soon, because I will not disturb that peduncle. This Hoya bloomed for me January of last year, and now it's kind of blooming in spring. So it's kind of doing something different right now. But I've not gotten any new leaves from it at all since winter, and I'm hoping to see if it's gonna thrive better in spring. Okay, so this Hoya is one of my favorites and is doing fine. It is the Hoya Fungi Pink Blooms. Now, I do have a peduncle. I have a peduncle on here, and I can see that, where is the peduncle? I can see that there's a little bit of growth happening. This peduncle started last year, but it's not done anything since winter. But now spring is coming. I see something. There's something happening. So hopefully I will get, oh my gosh, hopefully I will get a bloom from this. I'm so excited. Hoya Fungi, this has been a fast fast growing Hoya for me since I got it. It sits in a west window, and that's where it's been since I got it. I've not really put it in the IKEA cabinet. It's just been here, and it's just done really well. And I do need to give it a water, and before it needs a water and a repot. I would love to try this in semi-hydro. This would be a good one for semi-hydro because I can even clip this. We're gonna do some experimenting with Hoyas this year. If you don't have this Hoya and you want something that grows really fast, even if you're in the Midwest, this one. I mean, there's all this new growth and it's just happy, even in my struggles. And I do need to give it like a wash because it's a little dirty. It's dirty leaves, but yeah, Hoya Fungi. Okay, this one, I have it in a thicker kind of pot because it's top heavy. It is the Hoya DS70, and I have Hoya DS70 and Burtoniae in one pot because I just like, why not have them in one pot? Because, you know, you want to save space and save on watering stuff, but it's doing really well. I'm actually going to transition this to the south window, not so close to the window, but it's going to go sit there. I'm actually going to do that in the next couple weeks. So yes, it's going to be there and it's doing really well. It's not one that has gone through any dry rot, at least from I can tell, but I will only know if I unpot it. And that's what kind of I need to do when I'm kind of dealing with my dry rot issue, is unpotting the Hoyas to check the roots. And I love that there's a bend here and there's a new vine growing. So whenever I feel like you bend the Hoya stem, you kind of get a new vine. When I first got this plant, it was like a 4-leaf cutting. And this is what I got. Now, I had a Burtoniae and a DS70, and both were really tiny. It grows really fast. It grows fast. The growing season is here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this does. I don't know if this one's doing well, but I'm a little obsessed over it. It is a simple looking Hoya. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing this one, how it does, but it needs water. I've neglected it a little bit because it's like there, and yeah. So, but this is the Hoya Carmalie, and this plant blew up in growth during winter. Winter surprised me with this Hoya so much, and now I still have like new growth coming. It's like a simple Hoya, not anything fancy like the Wilber Graves China. That's a fancy Hoya, I think. I love the simplicity of just the green leaf, and I'm looking forward to watching this one bloom and hoping it's gonna bloom this year. I hope so. This was a tiny cutting when I got it, and it's just done really well for me. I am gonna show you this one. I have a Hoya compacted green, but this one's my variegated one, and I am looking forward to seeing this one do its thing. It is eventually gonna go sit in the west window because I'm getting some hanging I'm going to be getting some hanging situation for my west window. I'm sorry, south window. It currently sits in the west window. I have this Hoya kind of trellised like this, just sitting there because I can't have a hanging plant in this room. Since I've put it on a trellis kind of thing, it has just really beefed up right over here, right? And these have been on is just hanging, and it's not beefed up like this one. Do you see how beefy this is? Yeah, so I'm thinking like the trellising really beefs up the vine. I love this plant. I'm looking forward to seeing if this does anything because it's all white. It just keeps growing white. How is this even possible? Oh my gosh, this looks like something I would like put in my hair. Like, yeah, like a scrunchie. Okay, so Hoya Compacta Variegated, definitely showing off, and I am loving this plant still. It is, I can still see root growth on here. There's not much root growth. I repotted this, I think, last year, and I don't know, maybe I should take a look at it, but I'm gonna kind of leave it and for a little bit and see if it does anything. Okay, so this vine, there's lots of peduncles. There's been peduncles on this plant for the longest, but it's not done anything. And I'm hoping this year it does something since I'm going to be moving it to a south window. This plant does take a long time to grow, but I think what happens is when I moved this plant to the west window 2 years ago, it blew up in growth. This one definitely slows down in winter and just picks back up in spring and summer. Once I got some root growth, I did get some leaf growth. So that is something to keep in mind when you have this one. I love this plant. I love it. I love, again, you know, I love unusual plants. And I understand that if I have pests on it, I will have to face it when it happens, because if there's mealies on here, it will be a nightmare. But I'm just willing to just try and face it when it happens. But Hoya Compacta Variegated doing amazing. Amazing in my struggle season with Hoyas. This one is in the middle of a rehab and struggling, but I've repotted it and we did some rehab on it. I have some peduncles growing. I have some new growth happening. Like right here, there are some new leaves. And I can see the roots on this one, and I can see that the roots, like, it's buried. The roots are here, because like when I pulled the plant out of the pot last year and I realized I had issues, the roots were right here. I want to see roots in here. This is where I want to see roots. So I'm seeing it. I have some root growth. I see new growth happening, and it's reviving. So Hoya Bella is back. She's back and she's looking great. She's going to stay in this room and I'm not going to change her because she sat in the east kitchen window, and I think the fluctuation with the temperatures really caused some problems, but she's going to stay in this room. When this plant did have problems last year, I took cuttings, and I have some emergency cuttings in the grow cabinet, and those are doing well too, and that one's going to bloom as well. It is small. I'll show it to you. Okay, so these are the emergency cuttings that I took, and it's doing well. It is in a self-watering pot. I am transitioning my Hoyas in a self-watering pot. You guys know it. You talked me into it. It was you guys that did it. You guys. I have all these, like, in here. There's all these new stem happening, new growth, and there's a peduncle right there. Yeah, it's gonna bloom in the cabinet. It's gonna stay in there until it can. But I actually don't mind having this plant kind of all over the place in my house. Because it is one of my favorite Hoyas. I did buy an outer variegated one, a cutting, and it's done absolutely nothing. It's done nothing. See, it's been here for I don't even know how long it's been. It's been like it's like a year. It's done really nothing, and I'm probably gonna chuck it away because it's not done anything. I love just the green version. Trying to just really appreciate the plants I have right now. It doesn't have to be variegated to be beautiful. It could just be all green and be beautiful. I mean, I love variegated plants. I think they're freaking gorgeous, but sometimes a green one is still so stinking beautiful. Love this plant. I want to hear how your Hoyas are doing now, because when I shared my struggle video with my Hoyas, a lot of you have told me you guys are going through some root rot as well. How are they doing? Give me an update. and I will be giving you an update soon on my Hoyas. I'm just trying to get through the plant rehab. Rehabbed this right here. You probably saw that video already because I posted it, and we're gonna just keep on going this way. There's a lot of plants that I need to rehab, but I will be definitely giving you an update on the plants. Some of the updates I'm going to give you are short and sweet, so I think that's what I'll probably do because I don't want to bulk everything in one video that's 45 minutes long. Sometimes if it's a repot, I like to sit and relax in a repot video, but sometimes if it's an update video, I like those to be really quick. Tell me your thoughts on that. I need to know how your plants are doing. Tell me. If you want me to share a plant favorite video of other plants that I have that's doing so well in this struggle season, because I have a few as well, I will do that video next. I do share a more reflective planty journey over on Patreon. I do have a free subscription as well as other tiers as well, so check it out and see if it's something you would like to be a part of. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and always remember you are loved.